Hello, and welcome to Shelley Has Opinions, the hit podcast where the Chatfield girls try and guess their shy sister Shelley's opinions on a variety of topics. My name is Holly Chatfield Flanagan, and with me is
Shelley Chatfield Allison.
And we also have
Julie Chatfield Miller.
And finally, our sister expert for today is
Kellie Chatfield Whitcomb.
Oh my goodness, Kellie, your voice is in a new place from where it usually is. And I don't mean just like a different register. You're in your new house, and I'm so proud of you, and I love you.
I am, and we are so excited. And it is cuckoo bananas.
You have a pool. Let's tell the Shelley Gang pool party at Kellie's house.
If you can find me.
Oh no, it's a haunted pool. I'm so scared. Julie, speaking of scared, you scared me right away with your pass out story that you told me right before we started recording.
And then right before we started this recording, I said, I did not pass out.
You just said I lost consciousness and closed my eyes on the ground.
Okay, Kellie and the rest of the Shelley Gang, here is the real story. So, Kellie, you recently bought a house and now you're there. I also recently bought a house, but I'm not there yet. But I was yesterday. I was painting all day long. And I was priming all day long. I was using this primer that is like very noxious and did not have the proper PPE, did not have enough ventilation. I was really feeling it, guys. My eyes were streaming. My nose was streaming. After painting or priming for a while, I was like, I don't feel good. So I went in a different room and I laid on the floor and just, collected myself a little bit. I did not pass out. I did not go unconscious. And then I said, I'm done priming for today.
Oh my gosh.
And then a doctor came in and said, you passed out. And then you said, no, I didn't.
You've been passed out for 3 days.
What year is it?
Was that doctor my husband, the doctor of economics?
Oh, yeah. I just was making a silly joke for fun, but I like that.
He couldn't have gotten to me, so there.
Because you were hiding. Your natural camouflage, which is wood grain, like on your floor.
Uh-huh, exactly. But guys, good news. The walls look great.
Well, Julie, I'm so glad that you're conscious now. And I'm also really glad that I've never passed out. And no one on this podcast ever has either.
That's true. We all have clean records here.
We're laughing because Shelley can't give blood anymore.
I never could in the first place. I had never have successfully donated blood.
I went to maybe donate blood, and they put the tourniquet on me, and that's when I passed out.
I passed out even before that when they did the finger prick. Are you serious? I didn't know it was that early.
High five.
Yep.
And I passed out in the 8th grade in health class when they were showing a movie about having babies.
Uh-huh.
Kellie, what about you? Ever passed out?
Oh, I pass out all the time.
All the time.
Oh, cool. That's great. That's great news.
You need a doctor of economics to come talk to you.
Okay.
Oh, man. Well, I love everyone. I want everyone to not pass out during this recording, but you can do it after. You're free women and adults who can make your own choices.
I'll try my best.
Shelley?
I'm sorry, I was passed out already. Too late.
Oh, no. Kellie, and you're sitting on a Murphy bed, so you could pass out or get snapped right up like the Muppets in The Great Muppet Caper.
I guess.
There are a lot of possibilities in your new house. We're not sure what happens.
That's true.
There
All the
yet.
trapdoors and everything. Who knows? The bed might take me to Narnia.
Yeah, maybe you'll find a Jumanji. Oh, Kellie, I'm so worried for you. Julie, not so much, because you have a doctor of economics there. Do you want to know who's not a doctor of economics? Our fan Paul, OFP. Our fan Paul, not our dad Paul. He is the one who suggested the topic for this week, and he is not a doctor of economics, but you know what? You don't need to be to have a good topic. Although Corbin has also submitted some good topics, so maybe you do have to be.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, it doesn't exclude you, but it does help.
Shelley, would you like to know today's topic?
I would.
Today's topic is house plants.
Sorry, I passed out because the topic was so good.
Shelley, I know very frequently you're concerned that you won't know what I mean when I say a topic. Will you explain to the Shelley Gang what houseplants are?
A plant is a green or other colored living thing that lives in dirt, probably, and grows with sunlight and water and plant food. And a house plant, it lives in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's comprehensive.
That was so good. Yeah, I can't find any loopholes in that logic. You did great. So I'm going to be doing the pro reasons why you should like houseplants. Julie's going to be doing the anti reasons why you shouldn't. And Kellie, as someone with a house and our expert on Shelley, she will be telling us who and what Shelley will agree with. Oh, sorry, I passed out for a second, but pushed through and still spoke. That's how strong my willpower is.
Wow.
Shelley, are we ready?
Ready.
Wonderful. So, Shelley, I have 5 reasons why you should be pro houseplants. My first one is they are nature in a place that I can agree with. The place that I can agree with is multifold right now. One, indoors. I am just an indoor girl more now than ever, but for my whole life, I don't think like if there was a pandemic where you couldn't be in your house, you had to just be outside, I don't think I'd survive it. I'd say, take me now. But what I also am very pro indoors right now is because, specifically inside my house, is because I don't want to get or give coronavirus. That's a place I can agree with. Also, nature, I can agree with because since we've been indoors and we have Disney Plus, I've watched so many nature documentaries with my daughter, Lucy.
Surprise.
We just watched one about Yosemite National Park, and let me tell you what, that's a cool place.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool place.
We've all been there together,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't see a wolf pack upend another wolf pack and become the kings of the valley. We didn't see that when we were there.
Well, because we were trying
No.
to be the wolf pack and everyone was afraid of us.
Yeah.
But instead, all we did was Carly did that rap from that Taco Bell commercial, and she said, "My name is Carly. My friends call me Shelley. One hungry young dog I beat." That's what happened in Yosemite.
Wow. That's, I didn't realize those two coincided. That's an important family history piece right there.
Well, Shelley, there's a lot of important family history that you have no idea about that just before we started recording, Julie and I were talking about, and it was your memory, and you did not remember it. So
Nope,
troublesome.
didn't at all. And I guess that is shocking because my two sisters chided me a
It was
lot.
a story from like 15 years ago that Holly and I both remember very clearly, and you had no recollection at all. We're like, but it happened to you, and you told us.
And not only do we remember it clearly, I tell it all the time. I probably tell this story like 3 times a year.
Yeah, no, and I had no clue. So that's cool. I guess I have memento disease.
That's what they call it in that movie.
That's what they call it, where you don't have memories and can't make memories because they're not there, my friends. They're just gone.
But that is what it's called in the DSM-5.
Yeah, memento disease, because my favorite movie is Memento.
They're like, if Joey Pantoliano is around, you have memento disease. That's a joke for all the people who've seen that movie, which I don't think includes the entire posse on this podcast right now.
It's
I'm
true.
so lost. So confused. Maybe I have memento disease. I don't know.
It's not a confusion disease.
Oh,
It's
dang.
just you
What is a
forgetting.
confusion disease?
I call that the Shelley disease. Okay, here's another reason why you should be pro houseplant, Shelley, and that is there is a large variety for a large populace with large preferences. Now, the reason I was thinking of this is because there are a lot of choices for people to choose. of the different kinds of houseplants, but you know what my personal choice is? I love a large leafed plant. Give me plants with huge, huge leaves and no other things on that plant.
Wait. So the plant is only leaves.
Okay, here is what I was going to say, Shelley, is I don't like flowers. That shouldn't be cool news for anybody on this podcast or any like tried and true Shelley Gang members, because I've said it before and I'll say it again and I'll never not say it. So I don't want flowers on my houseplants. I want huge leaves, like hide behind them leaves if someone's coming into your house or into the office where you have broken into to find all of the information.
Like hide and seek style or like burglar style?
Both. Isn't burgling just illegal hide and seek?
Oh my gosh. I've
You got me there.
heard of it that way.
Well, it's more like breaking and entering is illegal hide and seek. That's probably better. Burgling is fully taking something. And what's a game where you take something?
Capture the flag.
Yes. Isn't burgling just illegal capture the flag? Wherein you need huge, huge houseplants in order to win the game.
So are you saying are you saying only leaves, not including any kind of like stem or trunk, or can those be allowed?
That's a bananas thing that you just said. So I don't know how to answer your question.
So you like a monstera plant with those cool leaves, or like
Or
an
the
indoor
elephant
palm,
ear.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what they're called.
or a mother-in-law's tongue.
No, here's what I like. Big leaves. That's what I know that I like.
How about berries?
What about them?
If you had a plant that had huge leaves and then tiny berries.
Okay, but is that a thing that is a houseplant that people have?
It could be. Let me get on my genetic altering of plants.
That's like asking, what about huge leaves and also gummy bears growing off of them?
What about a plant, like an edible plant with smaller leaves but edible, like basil or something?
Know what you're talking about.
Basil! You can grow that indoors.
Yeah, but guess what? Do those have big leaves that you can hide behind?
Depends on how much basil you grow. You could probably do that with mint.
The one acceptable plant for me that is like a useful plant is like a huge succulent, like an aloe vera or something, but big. Like, wow, did someone genetically alter this aloe vera?
We just need a botanist as a guest.
Yeah. So Holly, you want like each individual leaf to be huge. You don't want just like lots of
I don't want like a
leaves.
hedge. I don't want like a hedge in my house.
You don't want a topiary inside your house.
No, I want a big leaf. But okay, so okay, that's my preference and I'm part of a population, many populations, in fact, depending on how you slice those particular populations. But let's just say human race.
Uh-huh.
But there are a lot of different options. There isn't the large leaves with gummy bears, like I said, but there's already been many options that have been named by you Girlos. And guess what? All of them are an unoption. Not my personal preference, but an option. And there are many that have gone unnamed. And if we tried to name all of them, this would be a very boring podcast. So large, Shelley, you should like them because there's a lot of choices. And I know that doesn't usually go with your vibe, but I think you like that people can have choices. So that's a cool thing. Okay, so my next reason why you should be pro houseplants is they get you a really good rating on @Rate My Skype Room. Have you guys heard of this?
Oh,
No.
yes.
Because of the pandemic and its longness, everything that would normally be done in person on the television is being video cast. Like interviews on the news, or like they did some Masked Singer after shows, just like through Skype, or, just, it doesn't have to be serious. Like there's just a lot of things happening.
Like the SNL at home, etc.
So there is a Twitter account called @RateMySkypeRoom. And essentially it takes screenshots of all different varieties of people on all different medias, and essentially says it's out of 10 and it rates them, and it says like messy bookshelf or like great lighting or blah, blah, blah. And then it rates it. But houseplants specifically get you a higher rating. In fact, there are people who are frequently on television, like newscasters or whatever, who will specifically get rated more than once because they have added houseplants. Like someone who rated low then adds houseplants and gets redone and then gets rated higher. The more we can get other people to say how good we are, the better. So yeah, Shelley, I know that you're not frequently going on the news, but I think that if you did, you would want to not get like a 1 out of 10 because that would hurt your feelings and you'd cry forever.
Yep. Cry forever.
So that's a reason. And that maybe it doesn't apply to you, but again, like it is a very notable thing about houseplants in this era that has never been the case before and hopefully will not be the case in the future. But here it is. So our mom has been telling at least me, but I'm sure you girls too, like, are you journaling? Are you journaling? Because they're going to use the history books are going to use your journal specifically to note how everything is happening right now. So this podcast is my journal to say houseplants are good for a pandemic. Okay, Shelley, I have 2 more reasons why you should be pro houseplants. The penultimate reason is houseplants break up the sight lines of Star Wars Legos and 90s pop culture memorabilia. In my house, there's a thing where people get married. 2 people fall in love and they get married. Or 2 people fall in love and they live together for some reason. You have to blend the decor. You have to. Or else you are in a relationship that is a totalitarian and a dictatorship. And I do not approve of this. People get married and then they live in the same place. And then you have 2 different sets of like decor visions. And my particular set with my husband is his decor is like light grays a lot and also Star Wars maximalism. And mine is like quirky 90s memorabilia tucked in corners of average decor like bookshelves or what have you. You need to have a houseplant to kind of bridge the gap. Houseplants are neutral in decor. And that is important because if you don't have that thing, then you're going to give all of your guests, your house guests, whiplash. To be like, look at this beautiful sand crawler that's so big I could barely lift it. Oh my gosh, it's made of Legos. And then right next to it, if you put your Darkwing Duck mug, they're going to crack their necks and then you'll be responsible.
And you'll have to pay the insurance.
In order to keep that from happening, you have to put in a leafy plant.
If my husband, so he loves brown. And I feel like if we used houseplants to bridge that divide between our decor styles, we'd just have a dead brown plant.
or brown like walls and then green plants and you'd be living in the jungle.
Ooh.
Do they have to make it humid in there too?
Oh,
Yeah.
my husband would die 100%.
He's such a sweaty boy. And living in Virginia, when I was looking at your weather earlier today, it was like 70% humidity.
But we didn't go outside. Don't worry.
So yeah, you need to have houseplants because it really gives a neutral vibe between your Star Wars Legos and your Dwayne Wade flip-up sunglasses. Well, Dwayne Wayne. Yeah, Dwayne Wade is great, a great basketball player, former basketball player. Congratulations to him and to the character Dwayne Wayne. He married Whitley on A Different World. Congratulations. Those are 2 people who got married with very different styles. I'm so proud of them. I'm going to watch that show again, rewatch it again for the 80th time. Okay, so Shelley, I have one more point as to why you should be pro houseplants, and that is I love oxygen.
Oh, funny. Weird.
I'm crazy about this stuff. I want as much of it as I can get, and guess what is an easy, cost-effective, great, cool, wonderful, beautiful way to do so? You don't have to plant trees in your house to get oxygen. No, you can just do plant things, right?
Plant things.
Well, I mean plants, like Now I'm feeling self-conscious about science.
What if you planted a Lego sandcrawler? Would that help with the oxygen?
We have in our time capsule. And when someone opens it in 100 years, they'll go, I think 2 people were married here in this spot. But yeah, I love to breathe. I love it. And the more that I can breathe, the better. And you know what? I'm very jealous with my oxygen. So no one can share.
Do each person in your family, do you have your own like personal like array of oxygen providing plants? And you're like, these are mine. I'm very, very selfish about my oxygen. This is mine.
Well, no, because if that were the case, my son truly does have plants in his room, but they're all fake. They're fake, like succulent, like several of those. And if that were the case, my son would die immediatement because he has asthma also. So I've set him up doubly for failure by marrying someone with bad genetics and also buying him those plants and saying good luck. Just kidding. Caleb doesn't have bad genetics, but he does have bad asthma. So there's that. We got married. Oh gosh. I didn't think houseplants would be a referendum on marriage, but here it is.
Holly, your anniversary was this past week.
Yeah, we've been married for 14 years. And we did it, and we had a romantic dinner of Olive Garden that we went and picked up and brought home. And then we watched something that our parents have watched on an anniversary date when Kellie was like right about to come out of mom's belly. And that movie is Jurassic Park.
Oh.
I remember
I didn't know
that date of mom and dad's.
Me too.
What?
I don't know, but what I do know is that when I was telling mom about it, she said that right when the Tyrannosaurus Rex was about to eat its first victim, she had to go to the bathroom because she was so pregnant. And then when she came back, she asked Daddy what she missed. And then he said, like, everything. He said, you missed everything. So. Anyways.
They're all dead.
Well, not all of them.
It was a long bathroom break.
Yeah, but even by the end, there's like people are still alive, like Jeff Goldblum.
All right, I guess.
Oh no. So Jurassic Park, lots of ancient fauna, ancient flora, and then
and ancient fauna.
Well, yeah, but that's not really relevant to this conversation.
If you have houseplants, you will have to have dinosaurs.
Holly planted some amber with a mosquito inside, and she grew a dinosaur.
In my time capsule, there's very specific
Keep that sucker
things
in
in
there.
it. And also, Shelley, please be pro houseplants, because if you are, then maybe you'll find something on your porch later, not tonight, but in the future, that might be a plant or it might be a dinosaur. So you get to choose.
Oh man, fun.
Okay, Julie, you should say things about how bad they are now, but don't talk about my marriage, because that was my thing.
You know, the first thing I thought of when I thought houseplants was Holly's marriage, but I guess I can skip that. Shelley, I'd like to start off with a point that my son gave to me, my 4-year-old Lukey. Corbin asked him if he liked houseplants, and he said yes. And he said, what do you like about houseplants? And Lukey said, you can splash water everywhere. And I said, I shall be writing that down for my anti-point. Thank you. So, Shelley, 4-year-olds plus houseplants don't mix, because you can splash water everywhere. Or they can splash water everywhere.
When the small committee was meeting about this particular topic and you said that you were going to go anti, that was my first thought was, I bet Julie's going anti because her kids have made some nasty messes with some houseplants.
I have never had a houseplant, and it is because I've always had children around. Dirt is for digging, y'all. And if it's inside the house, it's going to be everywhere. So, digging up little treasures in the pot. But the only treasures that are in there are like roots and stuff. unless they're self-buried. But I just don't need that in my life. I wasn't planning on talking about this for very long, but now that you bring it up, yeah, it's too much, guys.
So you're saying after spending all day either passed out or painting yesterday, you don't want to imagine like water and dirt just being splashed on all the walls?
Yeah. Just getting into all the crevices and the nooks and the crannies. There's many inside our new house, slowly being filled with cement by my husband. Wow. Now, I really hadn't thought about that very much, about the mess that it makes, but now I can't stop thinking about it. So thanks, guys.
Sorry.
The moment that my youngest child turns 18 and moves away, I'll consider houseplants, but not a moment before. Okay, Shelley. Plants. They belong outside, in nature. Let nature be nature, okay, Shelley? Life finds a way. Is that the thing?
That's from Jurassic Park. You know who says it? My friend Jeff Goldblum.
He's so great and so wise.
If life finds a way, wouldn't life find a way into your house, aka plants just creeping on you all the time, just trying to get in?
If there was a spontaneous plant that started growing in your house, that would be extremely concerning.
No, it would be mad respect because it's the smartest plant that's ever lived.
So smart. If for some reason a vine started growing out from between the vinyl planks in my house, I think I would be rather concerned. And Corbin would get in there with the cement and, patch it up.
Oh, that poor plant. It's wearing cement shoes in your floor.
Shelley, I guess I consider all nature, like, we have to play by these rules. If you're supposed to be in nature, you go live outside, like plants and bugs and stuff. But if you're inside my house, no, you don't belong. You need to be rooted out. Jokes.
Oh, gosh.
There's an apartment near mine that when it's nighttime and their lights are on inside, you can see that in one of their bedrooms, there's an ivy plant that has grown like across the ceiling and down on the walls a little bit.
Oh.
So you're saying you wouldn't like that in your house?
Hearing that makes me feel concerned. That just can't be good for your walls. I guess I'm in like very much like home renovation mindset right now. Like that can't be good for the walls.
What do you think ivy does to a wall?
It creeps inside it and gets in the nooks and the crannies and the crevices.
It puts in their iron roots.
Yeah.
It just won't come out.
I was worried you would think it was like slimy or acidic or something.
Melting the walls.
Slowly, bit by bit. Well, isn't that what like mold is? Is mold a plant or is mold something else?
Mold is living.
Mold's a
So are
fungus.
plants.
Plants are fungus?
No, plants are a living.
Oh. I was like, oh, okay.
But fungus is living, and plants are living, and mold is living. And you know what? None of that stuff belongs inside a house. I'll just say that.
Houses aren't for the living.
The only thing living in my house is going to be me, okay?
Well, it just barely, because you're going to be so unconscious during all of it.
We're going to move into that house, and all 6 of us are just going to lay on the floor constantly. Like, whoop, passed out.
Except for the doctor. He's super alive.
So alive, because unconscious people are dead.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, Shelley, let nature just be where it wants to be outside. My next point. Ain't no sun inside. Plants love sunshine. Did you know that? Like flowers will point themselves toward the sun because they love it so much. And guess what? Ain't no sun inside. Unless you're right beside a window when the sun is in the right spot to point into your house. So being inside just is not a great environment for plants to grow.
Can I argue a point?
You can try.
Kellie can attest. The apartment we moved into in Argentina, we had floor to ceiling windows all across our gigantic living room and dining room.
Uh-huh.
That would have been the perfect place to grow plants because we got sun in them bad boys 2,000 hours a day. We could have had a greenhouse essentially in our living room. Kellie, please back me up.
Oh, definitely. And like a lot of the time, the sun from the other apartments would bounce off into our window. So not just we got sun, but we got lots and lots of light from all sorts of directions.
Yeah, so I would not say indoors is exclusively a place of no sun.
Well, let me tell you my experience, okay? The kids got a bulb that is supposed to be like flowers in the wintertime, and so they got it as a Christmas present, which was very thoughtful and sweet of their Sunday school teachers at church. The ideal side of our house to put it on would have been on the side of the house where all the windows are like the bottom sill is very low, and so those bad boys would have just been in the line of fire constantly. Just
in the danger zone.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, we can't put them there. So really the only place that we can put these plants is on the opposite side of the house where it gets like 1 hour of direct sunlight every day, because then beyond that is tall trees that block the sun. And so our plant kind of grew some leaves and then died.
Oh, no.
And it was so tragic. The kids were heartbroken. And our friend who also got one was like, oh, wasn't it so beautiful, the flower that bloomed from that? And I was like, shush, shush, shush. I don't know what you're talking about.
So plants need sun, or else you have to teach your children about tragedy. The loss of a life.
Yeah. And nobody wants to do that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Leave that to someone else. Parents don't want to deal with that.
Shelley, what was I saying? Oh, yes, there's no sun inside. There's no sun inside my house, okay? And I know what I know. And you don't live in Argentina anymore, if I'm correct. If I'm correct in my
you
thinking.
You are correct. But my son keeps trying to convince me to buy one of those like indoor lights for growing plants.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot. So you can have a sun-like substitute inside if you feel like it.
What does he want to grow?
Everything. Whatever his mind is on that day.
Well, I hope he can keep that up someday when he can plant a stinking plant outside where it belongs.
Julie, your anger, your Barbasol levels about this topic have been really funny to me.
I didn't expect to be so angry about this topic.
This topic has really shocked both of us in different ways.
It's really made you contemplate your marriage.
Both of you have really had to do some soul searching when it comes to your life and houseplants.
Yeah. Shelley, I went online and I found a list of like 50 plants that you should never bring inside your house. And there are some very common houseplants on there, like ferns and ficuses, succulents, just like lots of plants that everybody has in their house.
Why did they say don't bring them inside? Because it's going to come alive and want to eat blood, a la... Oh, shoot, what's that musical?
Suddenly see
Little Shop of
more.
Horrors.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, don't get that one. That if there's any musical that's...
Is a ficus going to want me to feed it blood also?
It might.
Like, why shouldn't I bring it in my house?
Well, because it wants to eat your blood. That was the reason for that plant. No.
Okay.
This whole list was like, this plant may look good, but they're really bad for your allergies, so don't bring it in your house. Or this is good for decoration, but it also brings bugs into your home that you'll never get rid of. This may purify the air, but it'll also kill you.
What?
Like, so many of the ones that I read were like, this one, it's beautiful, but it's also poisonous if you eat it. So don't...
Well, don't eat them then.
Well, some people have children who eat weird things.
They also have cats. I know cats love to eat indoor plants.
A lot of them were like, these are toxic for pets, so don't bring it into your house, let your pet eat it. So Shelley, houseplants, they're dangerous.
Oh no.
Especially, did you say cacti already?
No.
Those are very dangerous.
Are cacti a popular indoor plant?
Yes.
Well, don't do that, Shelley, because you might sit on it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm thinking about Hop on Pop, where no, Pat, no, don't sit on that. And he almost sits on a cactus.
So you're saying as I'm moving my indoor plants around to get like the best sunlight, I'm going to just move it into all the best sitting spots because I sit in the sun like a kitty.
No, but then a little yellow creature will come up and go, no, Pat, no, don't sit on that. And you'll go, my name isn't Pat, and I'll sit anywhere I want to sit.
Oh, no. I would be more concerned about the little yellow creature in my home that's talking to me. Maybe I accidentally brought in a plant that is got, like, drugs in it or something.
No, it was infested with little yellow creatures, and now you just can't exterminate them from your home.
Oh, gosh.
So, Shelley, my last point. Having plants inside your house just doesn't make sense. When we first asked the kids today, like, so what do you guys think of houseplants? Theo, my 8-year-old, was like, what do you mean? Like, like if you have a plant inside your house that you just like want to grow it inside, he's like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, you are right.
So you not only have not ever had a plant, the reality of it is not something even spoken of in your home.
Exactly.
Julie, you live a really sheltered existence, okay? Jeez.
Well, the whole reason you build a shelter is to get away from nature. You don't want to be around all the things. Holly, yeah, you got me. You get me.
Oh, yeah. I've built my own shelter from the ground up. I mean, essentially, I paid for it in that way. And I did that so I would not have to be out in nature 24/7.
Because you know what's out there? Bugs and plants and dirt. And you don't want that stuff inside your house. You pay rent or mortgage every month to not do that. Houseplants just don't make sense, okay? For so many reasons. Vote no on houseplants.
Julie, magnificent. You really brought me around at the end with inside is inside. And I feel so strongly about the inside. But what else I feel strongly about is Kellie having a good, smart brain with not memento disease. So she remembers everything that Shelley's ever done. And she is going to tell us what she thinks Shelley will choose. Kellie, will you please enumerate and elucidate the facts?
I can try and do that. Shelley already has oxygen around her.
Brag.
So if having live plants, fake plants in the house is different than having live plants in the house, it's not like the fake plants are going to take away oxygen and the live plants are going to give oxygen at all. So I don't think Shelley's too worried about that part, Holly. I also don't think that Shelley's too worried about plants in general. I mean, they're not going to come out and eat her, Julie. So I think she's going to go anti because they can be dirty and they can be harder to take care of. And yeah, nobody ain't got time for that. I think she'll go anti houseplants.
I can't stop thinking about how you said she has enough oxygen. How do you even know?
Well, because she's not passed out, Julie.
Well, now is the time we've all been waiting for, the opinion of the MVP of this podcast, the most Venus in blue jeans podcaster. Shelley, what kind of pants are you wearing?
Jammies, actually.
Are they blue jean jegging jammies?
They're not. They're black jammy capris because I took a little nap before the podcast.
Man, I wanted to do that as well, and now I'm so jealous. So now I'm like revisiting not only just my marriage in general, but also like my nap or no nap situation. I'm really introspective this episode. Shelley, what do you think about houseplants?
I'd forgotten, Kel, until you mentioned it, that we have already done fake plants.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that episode.
What, fake plants? Oh, yeah. Was that with Jack and Jet?
Oh, that's right. It was. So I don't, because of my memento disease, I don't remember where I came down on fake plants, but I think I was pro. So I support Jack's room full of fake plants, especially because we don't want our allergy boy being sad with more allergies.
Oh, man. These genetics of ours. Come on.
As for living houseplants, I am floored about Julie's anger towards houseplants. I did not know.
I'm just a very angry person in general, so it shouldn't be surprising.
That's what everyone who listens to this podcast thinks.
Yes.
Everyone's so chill except for Julie. She's so angry.
I feel like your DIY-ness and moving into a new house has really colored your opinion, especially today, which I not doing. Now I'm not going anywhere. So I will try to see it through your eyes a little bit, Julie. You guys kind of had some points that were totally opposite today, like nature in a cool indoor place where you can, interface with nature without having to be outdoors, or nature belongs outside and outside only. Those are interesting points. Like, do I want to get that sweet, sweet oxygen right in my lungs, like from the source, or can I just open a window and let the oxygen come in from those plants? Because otherwise, my house is like sealed.
Well, I'm just so sick of the propaganda of the Utah Tourism Board, because they're like, we have so many beautiful mountains and hiking and I don't want to do any of that. I just want everyone to get off my back and let me sit on my couch in peace.
It's true. There's been a lot of nature ads for Utah lately. Get off our back, Utah. Maybe some of us don't want to go hike the Red Rock in the 100-degree heat. And there's not even plants on those rocks. No plants grow.
No oxygen.
But so a large variety for many preferences. That is true for people who like lots of different things. But I guess you shouldn't bring some of them indoors. I didn't know how dangerous houseplants could be.
Yeah.
Julie taught me something today, Holly. I know you hate that, but I didn't know. Even though I wouldn't bring a certain succulents inside. Yeah, because Holly said she'd want like an aloe vera plant, like a huge one, which I had a few of those in my backyard in Australia. And trust me, you don't want one of those taking over your house.
I didn't know they were real. I just thought it was in my beautiful imagination.
No, they can get pretty big. And we had a couple big ones in my backyard in Australia, and they tried to take over the world because they send out little like shoots.
Oh.
And so then, like, more little baby plants would grow all around the big ones. And they just keep coming. They'd never stop. And so maybe that would happen inside your house.
That sounds like a scary movie. They just keep coming and coming and never stop.
Well, and when they get big, they're really sharp on the tips. So they're knife plants that want to grow all over and knife you.
Yikes.
But then heal your wounds afterwards.
But then heal your wounds with their soothing balm.
Well, you have to murder them first.
Yes. Well, you can just cut off a little bit.
They wound you. You get your wrench and murder them and use their blood to heal yourself.
That is a relationship that I could really get down with. Caleb, I'm divorcing you and I'm marrying an aloe vera plant.
As for it being a bridge for decor styles, I had never thought about that. It's about like nature stepping in and saying, here, I can solve the issue of trying to merge your two decoration styles to become one with me, a plant.
And the Spice Girls.
It's beautiful. And oxygen, so good. I also love oxygen. I'll say that now. I'm on the side of oxygen. Splash water everywhere. That's true. I hadn't thought about the damage a 4-year-old could do with a plant to your house. I mean, even if you just had a cute little watering can or like a spray bottle, that could go from 0 to big problem really quick.
Oh, I just thought of a late entry that has to do with Julie's 4-year-old. Can I say it?
Sure.
One way that you could be pro houseplants with a 4-year-old is do a hanging plant. You can work on your macrame and do that. Keep it out of reach of your 4-year-old.
Oh, I was like, are you going to make your 4-year-old do the macrame?
Or you just give them a new goal to get to it.
Yes. So we hung some hanging lamps in our living room. And let me tell you, it was a constant struggle to make the kids not use it as a target.
Oh,
so if I had a thing full of dirt hanging up, sounds kind of awful.
Oh, okay.
Plants belong outside, the inside for people. I mean, that's the opposite of what Holly said, so we'll see about that.
No. I am strongly on the side of insides are for people. Do not put words in my mouth. People belong inside, and inside is made for people.
And you can invite, if you'd like, plants inside also.
Like vampires, plants may come in if you invite them.
Got
or
it.
if they're very sneaky and grow inside your house by themselves.
Like a werewolf.
Team Jacob forever.
Heck yes.
I should say, for Julie's point of ain't no sun inside, I felt that. I currently live in an apartment that's half underground. We have windows, but they're like they start at my shoulder height, and they don't let in a lot of sun because we also have a lot of trees and plants around, and like one of our rooms gets direct sunlight for like 1 second every day. Other than that, it's all very indirect. So I really felt that. I feel like I'm an indoor plant who gets no sun.
Oh no.
And guess what? That's the reason why we can't have a lot of indoor plants, but also guess what? I like them. We have 2 currently. Actually 3. We have a couple cactuses in my son's room.
Ooh, careful.
We have a plant in like a pot on the ground, well, on a little planter on the ground that I think is the mother-in-law's tongue, or like snake plant. I think it's got a couple names. And then I also have one that I had to look up the name of because I didn't know. It's just really got pretty stripy leaves. It's called a Fittonia, I think. It's got like pretty green and red striped leaves, and I love them, but they're really hard to take care of in my house with no sun. The one has to live in our windowsill pretty much all the time, and the other ones have to go visit the outside sometimes. I do like that they are good for the oxygen. I do like having something living in my house besides humans. I invited them in and they make things more beautiful. And I would have even more if more of our rooms got light, because I do feel like they up the decoration factor. I haven't done rate my Skype room, but right now it would be low. Rick Skypes in our bedroom for work, and it's currently needing something else, and a plant would be great. I feel like a plant would really do a lot of good in here. And yeah, I just think indoor plants are fun. So far, my 11-year-old does not splash water everywhere, at least to help the plant. He does sometimes splash water everywhere because he likes to play with water balloons in the sink. But yeah, I like plants. I like a little bit of greenery inside. If I had a little more sun, I'd probably have some like flowering plants, because I like flowers too. And yeah, so I like a little bit of nature indoors. Someday I'll have even more.
Is that a threat or what?
No, just when I live in a different house. Just that's a plan. Just thinking of the future.
I think every plan is a threat because I am way into spontaneity. Which is a topic that I pitched to Julie recently to do on this podcast. Spontaneity. She wasn't down for it.
I said, you're crazy.
So crazy it just might work.
It was like, counter offer, houseplants.
Well, Holly, you could maybe still do it. My memento disease could just wipe that from my mind any second.
Well, Shelley, thank you so much for sharing your opinion with us. And thanks again to OFP, our fan Paul, for submitting this topic. And now we are moving on to our segment, Rando Chando. Shelley, you usually do like a woohoo or something.
I gasped silently.
In our segment, Rando Chando, our sister Julie brings us a game and explains it. Here you go.
I found some words on the internet. I stuck them together. We're going to play with the combinations. You tell me which one you like best. And Shelley Gang listening, you play along. See who your interests line up with. That'll be fun. Like a personality game. Okay, let's go. Here's the first set. Parallel tissue. Tissue tractor. Or tractor parallel.
Okay. I love the idea of a tissue tractor because it brought two things to my mind. One, a piñata tractor made of tissue paper. Very cute and fun. But also
made of paper
like a
mache.
tissue holder. No, but then it's decorated with tissue paper.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, sometimes.
What kind of piñatas are you guys hitting?
None. None currently.
Julie's recently did a piñata. I guess she's the expert, I guess.
Hey, that's my job.
Yeah, Julie, how dare you take Kelly's job?
Okay, so Holly, you vote tissue tractor.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you didn't finish your thought about
just
a tissue
like
box.
a tissue box, like so you know how there's like a cover of a tissue box that some people like use, like do yarn with or whatever?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking of a tractor one, but the part where you pull out the tissue is like the part where you would sit in a tractor. And how cute is that? Thank you. The
That's
end.
pretty cute. Kelly, which one do you like best?
I liked tractor parallel.
What did you like about that?
I like tractor parallel because, you know, it sounds like it would be an answer to a worded math question.
I was thinking like a geography question, like where would you find the John Deere factory? Oh, on the tractor parallel.
Or it could be that. Or there could be lots of tractors that are parallel to another. And, you know, if they're cool tractors, then it'd be cool. And if they're dinky tractors, then it's all maters.
When I thought of that, I thought of like different dimensions, like parallel universes.
That's what I thought of too. That's what I thought. I was drawn to tractor parallel also because it sounded like a different tractor dimension parallel to ours, or like a hilarious like Olympic sport. Tractor parallel bars.
It seems like you guys all aligned on that one.
No, I choose yours, Holly. I like
two.
Tissue tractors. The idea of like a tissue cozy shaped like a tractor won me over.
That's right. That's the name of it. Okay, Julie, give us one more set.
Okay. Dangerous corn. Corn dip. Or dip danger. Shelley, what do you like best?
I guess Dip Danger. Like, Dip Danger just has either that's the name of like a hilarious like spy. Like, hello, I'm Dip Danger. Or like no, yeah, that's pretty much what I like.
A great spy.
I just want to see the further adventures of Dip Danger. Just see what he's up to these days.
See, and I love Dip Danger because I want it to be the name of my restaurant, my tapas restaurant.
Ooh.
Where it's like you get tapas, but then there's like a buffet of different dips. But then if you choose the wrong one to go with your crudité or whatever, then it gets dumped on your head, kind of like a Double Dare style.
Or I hope you get dropped down out of a trap door.
Yes. Let's do both. It'll be like a water slide.
Excellent. Kelly, what do you like best?
Well, I went to Dip Danger too, just merely because of the thriller part. However, I did land on corn dip, because guess who hasn't had dinner yet?
Oh, no.
Especially after a full day of moving and nursing still? Stop.
Oh my gosh, you have to eat 100 hours a day if you're doing that. I liked dangerous corn. I just like the idea. How do you have corn being dangerous? Makes me laugh.
Well, 2 against 1 against 1. Shelley and I are the victors forever.
Yes.
I'm not usually on a winning team in this game, so I'm very happy. Well, this has been our segment, Rando Chando. Shelley Gang, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. It has been a lot of fun, especially because you have been here. And if you want more of us, just like we want more of you, you should go to ShelleyHasOpinions.com. That's ShellEY, hasopinions.com. There you can find all of our old episodes, biographies of us, and pictures. But we don't know what your website is if we want more of you. So if you could write into us and tell us what your website is, that'd be really great. So I think for now I'll just look at shelleygang.org, see if anything's there.
I wonder what that would lead you to.
I hope nothing, because it would be fun to buy it. But okay, so we did that. Shelleygang.org, shelleyhugsings.com. Next is podacongo.com. If you visit podacongo.com, you will find the podcasts on the Podicon network of podcasts. They are family friendly, they're fun, and also they are members of shelleygang.org, so you can find all of their information there. But mostly the kind of information I want is if you will RSVP yes or no to coming back next week. So send in your votes and tickets, or how does RSVP work again?
A letter by courier.
Oh,
They can shout it from their rooftop, and if
send your notarized pigeon mail, or what is it? Oh,
Light your neon sign that's on your roof.
And tell us if you're coming next week, because you're fun and we're having fun, and corn is dangerous.
according to Dip Danger.
And with that, thank you, and I love you, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Gosh dang it, Shelley, where are you?